supposed to feel.
Hi guys, welcome to the new course of C language. Today we are going to start our first course, which is C language. So why did I start C course instead of Python course? Now you might ask the same because the syntax of Python is so simple. Now the answer is simple. The Python language was itself built from C syntax. So if you guys understand this programming language, LT will be easy to learn other languages in the future, like Java, C++, or Python. So let's start the course. So let us see what we will learn in this part 1 video. So I will be talking why I took C programming for this course. Then we will see how to install the C language in your system. Then we will see structure of the C programming language. So this is the part where more people find it difficult. Believe me, you will have best experience in this course. Then you will write your first program of your C programming language. After that, I will give a challenge question. Try to solve it by yourself. After some time, I will reveal the solution. So without any further ado, let us start the course. So now the first question is why we are using C programming language. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, by learning this language, it will be easy for you to learn the other programming language. The reason behind this is because the C programming language is the grandfather of all the programming languages in the modern day. Then, since this is a grandfather of all the programming languages, it is also known as the Latin language of all the languages. Now trust me, if you master this language, you will be able to understand any programming language till this day. Great, now we have seen why we chosen the C programming language. Now let us install it in our PC. Okay, now important notice. This will only work on Windows 10 and Windows 11 users. I am sorry, Windows 7 and 8.1 users. Your operating system has become out of date. Better to upgrade your computers. Great, now let us move on to our first site. We will be using Visual Studio Code in our course, because this code editor will help you to manage your code very easily. Now if you are a Mac user or a Linux user, download your respective versions. In my case, I am going to download for Windows. So after some time, the download will start to begin. Now after the download has completed, open the executable file. Now click on Run. Now install Visual Studio Code through this setup process. In my case, I have already installed it in this system. So let me close this installer. Great, now we have installed Visual Studio Code in our system. Now open Visual Studio Code in your system. Now on this system, on the right side, I will mark the icon. Click on the icon. Then search of CN. The search bar. Then you will see the C/C++ extension by Microsoft. Click it and click on Install. In my case, I have already installed it in this PC. So now let us close the Visual Studio Code. Now C is a low-level programming language, which means that the output of the C language could only be understood by machines. So, to make the output in human-readable form, we have to install a compiler to check the syntax and produce an executable to run the code. So to install the compiler, let us open the next site. We are going to install min-gw compiler for compiling our C language. Now scroll down the page, then click on MSYS2 button on the site, then download the installer from the site. Now after the installation complete, then click on the executable file. Now install MSYS through this installer. In my case, I have already installed it in this computer, so I will quit the installer. So now after installing MSYS, open MSYS terminal. After opening the MSYS terminal, we have to install the min.gw compiler through some commands. So the first command is given here. I will give the command lines in the comments box. Now type the first command and press enter. In my case, I have already installed the package, so I will come out of this process. For your case, you have to type Y and press enter. Now, we have to install the tool chain for the compiler. For that too, there is a command to use. I will give that command in the comment box. For that, let us switch back to the second site, then scroll down, and as you can see, there is a command line to install the tool chain. Now type the command line in MSYS, then press enter. Since I have installed all the packages, I will quit this terminal. Now we have to add the path to the system environmental variable. Now go to C, then go to MSYS64 folder, then go to UCR64 folder, then go to bin folder. Now copy the path. Then in the Windows search, type edit, then click on the edit the system environment variables. After opening it, click on environmental variables. Then in users Windows, click on path. Then click on edit. Now in the new line paste the path, which we have copied. Now click on OK, then close the window. Now to check whether we have installed C programming language in the system, go to command prompt, then type gcc space -- version, then type enter. As you can see, we have installed C programming language. You have also installed C++ programming language in this process. Now let us open Visual Studio Code. Now let us create a folder where we will be doing our C programs. After creating the folder, go to View, then click on Explorer to view your files. So let us create a folder. In this case, our first program will be Hello World program. That is the basic program. Now we will create Hello World program by extension of .c. Now close the Visual Studio Code. Now we will be understanding the structure of C programming language. So this is a basic C program, where as you can see there are many lines, which is out of our understanding. To solve our problem, we will solve it piece by piece. So now to begin with #include_word. This is called a preprocessor directive. We will talk about preprocessor directive later in this part 1 of the course. Then now we have the header file. A header file is a file which already contains code, which will help to compile our code. Now we have a big block of code. This is known as a function. Now we see something named int. Here it means this function returns an integer value to the operating system. Now we have the main function itself. This function is an important function in the C programming language because whatever code we write, it will be executed in the main function. Now after that we have the printf statement, which is taken from stdio.h header file to output the lines in our given program. Then we have the return 0 line. This means we will return integer 0 to the operating system. Now the important among all is the semicolon, which is also known as the terminator. Terminator will end the statement in the given line, then it will end the code. Now let us switch to Visual Studio Code and let us write the code. Now our first line will be #include stdio.h. In the next line, we will write our main function. Now we will write our print statement. In the print statement, we will type hello world. Now to end the statement, type semicolon. Now let us type return 0 to return 0 to the operating system. Now click on Terminal and open new terminal window. Now switch from PowerShell to Command Prompt. Now in the terminal, change the directory by typing cd and directory name. Then now to compile the project, type gcc hello_world.c. Then as you can see, a new executable name a.exe is created. Now in the terminal type a.exe. Now as you can see the output hello world. So this is the power of programming. So now let us move on to our next topic. So let us understand what is a preprocessor. Okay, so many people will misunderstand that a preprocessor is a microprocessor, where it is not a microprocessor. A preprocessor is used to prepare the source code for compiling. To compile the given source code, the preprocessor will use some preprocessor directives to compile the project. Okay, in the C programming language, there are total 12 preprocessor directives, in which the define and include directives are most commonly used. The include directive is used to include the important libraries to your program. The define directive is simply a macro, which means it will define the value all over the code. Now there is the syntax of how to use a define directive. In the first example, we have defined count to 12, and in the second example, we have set greetings to hello world. Now let us see, what are header files? The header files contain source code, which will copy the source code into your file. The most commonly used header file is stdio.h header file, which is known as standard input and output header file. This header file is responsible for taking input and printing the output. Great! We have come to end of our part 1 of the course. We have our first challenge. In this given slide, find the errors of the program. Pause the video and take your time to find the solution of the given code. Okay, I guess you guys have taken time to think and see the errors in the program. So, let us discuss the solution of the challenge question. There are total 3 errors in this program. The first error was to change the name man to main. The reason for this is because the C language compiler first checks for the main function in the program. If it is not checked, it will throw an error. Okay, the second error was to replace print D to print F. That was a silly error. Now the final mistake is to add the semicolon after the statement. If you guys found the error, that's great. If not, that is not a problem. Just revisit to the video and come to challenge question again to clear your doubt. So this was our part 1 of our C programming course. In the part 2, we will be discussing about variables, data types, variable scope, typecasting a variable, and adding comments to your program. I hope this part 1 of this course has helped you a lot. If you liked the video, please comment and like the video. Peace.